Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
And good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is meteorologist Heather Kane. It's time for our daily hail forecast, sponsored by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor Show. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring our videos. So let's jump right into our weather headlines. Today we're going to be covering the number 7 biggest event of 2021. And then we'll be talking about quickly all the events that are going to be going on within the next few weeks. We have a lot of things going on. And then we will talk about what possibly something that we will have to watch in the middle to the end of next week. But until then, it's going to be relatively quiet, at least in terms of severe weather. So first, we do have our yearly Hail Trace staff 5-star picks. We're going to be doing this live on Facebook tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. Central Time. Again, this is tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. Central Time. You don't want to miss this. Every single one of us here in the office is going to basically predict what city is going to be the first to get a 5-star map this year. So that's always fun to see who's going to be the closest. And then we have the Win the Storm conference. This is going to be next Monday on the 14th through Wednesday the 16th. So if you're going to be down in Dallas going to the Win the Storm event, we will be there, so come on by and say hi to Hail Trace. And then we have our 2022 Highway to Hail tour. We're going to be in a few cities, including Dallas, Denver, Chicago, and then Nashville, and closing it out in Orlando. So we have more information on our Facebook page, so go and check that out to get more information. So here is our number 7 storm of 2021. This was in the basically northeast of Indianapolis, Carmel, Castleton, Warren Park. So this was on June 18th. We had up to a little over 3-inch size hail, with the strongest storm, which was in the Sugar Creek region. Otherwise, there was a pretty widespread area from 2 to 2.5-inch hail. Basically, there's one storm that was northeast of Indianapolis, just south of Fishers, that dropped again up to 2-inch hail here, maybe a little bit larger in some spots. And then again, Sugar Creek got blasted with up to 3.25-inch hail, and they actually had a secondary storm that dropped a large hail as well. So here are a few pictures across these two major, what's the word I'm looking for? The strongest, largest storms that produced those the largest hailstones here. So yeah, pretty damaging storm. Potentially up to 51,000 properties were totaled. Again, that's just the potential. It's not, an actual, in stone number. That's just a quick estimate. And yeah, there are again multiple storms that affected the areas in the Indianapolis metro area. So here are our current conditions across the United States. We do have one Clipper system that brought some snow to the Great Lakes region and now is moving into the northeast. We're going to zoom right on in here to see what's going on. We have some rain along the cold front, some snow behind this cold front. Low pressure is just to the north of Quebec here, and then we have a second Clipper system bringing some heavier snow, but it's quick moving from the eastern parts of the Dakotas here into the western parts of Minnesota. This is going to be moving on to the east as we get throughout the day today, and we'll be bringing some more snow into Wisconsin as we get into tomorrow. And yeah, so hopefully you guys like the white stuff because it looks like there's going to be a good amount of it. So here are our current conditions in terms of temperatures. Very cold in the northern part of the U.S. with these Clipper systems moving on through. It's only 32 degrees in Fort Wayne, 19 in Minneapolis. It goes south though, ahead of that cold front. Temperatures start to warm up pretty nicely, getting up into the mid 60s, 66 in Atlanta, 78 in Miami, and the same goes for Los Angeles. You're also sitting at 78 degrees. And remember, they're a few hours behind us here in the central part of the U.S. So to be 78 at a little after 10 in the morning is quite impressive, and it's going to continue to be warm there for the next few days. In terms of dew points, we're really dry, not a whole lot of moisture. The best spot in terms to see that more moisture in the atmosphere is down in Miami, but even that, it's still a comfortable 60 degrees. So looking at our watches and warnings, not too crazy, but we do have a few trouble areas. The first here in the north, we do have some wind advisories going out here. Up to 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts are possible as we get throughout the day today. And then we also have those winter weather advisories going out into Minnesota and into northern parts of Wisconsin with that Clipper system moving on through. 4 to 9 inches of snow is possible as this Clipper system moves on to the southeast. And then we go down to Los Angeles. I mentioned that it's getting near 80 degrees at this time, and it's going to warm up into upper 80s to lower 90s, not just today, but through the weekend. This heat advisory is going to be in effect until 6 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. So Super Bowl people, if you're going there, if you're lucky enough to go to the Super Bowl, make sure you wear light clothing and drink plenty of water, as it's going to be a bit toasty at the game. So besides that, we're going to take a look at the future surface and precipitation just to take a look at these Clippers here. This is the first one that's affecting the northeast. That's going to be moving on out. And here's that secondary system that's going to be continuing to bring some heavier snow, although it's going to be moving pretty quickly as we get into the next 24 hours. As we get into tomorrow, that heavier snow will be affecting my home state of Michigan and down into parts of Indiana, Illinois, and then heavier rain ahead of that cold front, and that will be moving on into the northeast. But other than that, in terms of severe weather, there's really nothing to talk about. It's all winter weather for the next few days, unfortunately. So with it, snow totals is going to be about 4 to 6 inches. Some heavier totals, though, up to 8 inches in the higher impacted areas, especially along the lake fronts there. So is there anything to watch in the future? Well, let's take a look at our jet stream. This very large trough continues to bring that cold air down south into most of the United States. The jet stream is way to the south. If you need warmer temperatures, you either need to go to California, along the western coast, or down to Miami. And as we get into the next few days, this trough is just going to continue to stick around, continue to bring cold weather. You can see it dips very far south here. But then as we get out of our weekend and then into the beginning of next week, here comes this next trough here. This is the one that we need to watch as we get into the beginning of next week. You can see it starts to dig in the west and then starts to swing on to the east as we get, this is 12 p.m. Central Time next Wednesday. So we're still, again, 6 days out. A lot of time to watch what this system does, but it's definitely one that we need to watch as it looks to be quite potent. There's going to be a decent amount of energy with it. This is next Thursday at noon. So we got to watch that as we get into the next week or so for the Central Plains, as well as getting into the southeast. But until then, it's going to be quiet today, as well as getting into tomorrow. No severe hail or wind is expected. And then just taking a look, just a quick look at, this is next Wednesday. You can see the date here, the 16th, just to see kind of the areas that we're going to be watching. There's going to be a lot of moisture with this system, so if anything, we're going to get some heavy rain on the warm side, some snow on the cold side. So this is 12 p.m. next Thursday. You can see there's going to be a low pressure system in the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. So there could be a dry line that's going to be setting up and bringing in that moisture. So we got to really watch late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And then you can see as we get into next Friday, some more thunderstorm activity. So again, I'll keep saying this, we're still 6-7 days out. It's just something that we need to keep an eye on. A lot of things can and it will change. Here is the moisture. Next Wednesday, you can see that moisture return coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, and then getting into next Thursday at 9 a.m. You can see that dry line setting up here. Plenty of moisture coming on in. Here in Oklahoma City, I think it'll just be more of a heavy rain, maybe some thunderstorms in terms of severe weather. I think it's going to be to the east if there's anything. Again, we're still way far out there, you guys, but then the moisture really starts to ramp up as we get into Thursday evening and into Friday. And lastly, the Cape values don't look very impressive at this time, but things can change. Here is Wednesday, not a whole lot of instability whatsoever, but then getting into the overnight into early Thursday, you can see that there is a little bit of instability from south central Kansas down into parts of Oklahoma and into Texas. So again, this is something that we need to monitor as we get closer to next week. And then as we get into the afternoon on Thursday and then getting into Friday, that instability will still be there. So we gotta watch Louisiana and into parts of Mississippi as we get into Thursday afternoon and into the overnight hours from Thursday night into Friday. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned here to Hail Trace as we get into next week as things start to come together a bit better. Right now, it's just something to watch. And then looking at Denver for tomorrow, not the best day to get work done. Temperatures will only be getting up to around 41 degrees by noon, and then it'll start to cool down a bit as we get into the afternoon hours, and snow will be moving in as well. So again, probably not the best day to work tomorrow. But Dallas, as we get into tomorrow, completely different story. Temperatures will be really warming up nicely, nearing 76 degrees by 3 p.m. tomorrow. Very nice day. And then here in Oklahoma City, another nice day here as well, a little bit cooler. Temperatures will be getting up into the lower 60s by 3 p.m. and it will be dry. So make sure you go out there and get that work done, you guys. But until then, hey, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you have any questions, concerns, or you just want to say hi, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com and check out our website at www.hailtrace.com. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday.